Disney CEO Robert Iger joins Elon Musk in resigning from the President's Council over his withdrawal from the Paris Accord. Walt Disney chief Robert Iger on Thursday joined fellow billionaire Elon Musk in resigning from the President's Council to protest President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement on climate change. Musk made good on his pledge Thursday to will step down from the council, leading widespread condemnation from scientists around the world over Trump's decision. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO previously warned he would resign as a Trump advisor if the president did decide to pull out, and has now confirmed that he is departing the position. It comes as experts say the decision is a step backward in disappointment, and warn we will all suffer the impacts of climate change. Departing presidential councils, Musk tweeted today, following the announcement at the Rose Garden. Climate change is real. Leaving Paris is not good for America or the world. A few hours later, Iger tweeted that he, too, would no longer participate on the council. As a matter of principle, I've resigned from the President's Council over the Paris Agreement withdrawal, the Disney CEO tweeted. Other executives from tech giants also criticized the president's decision. Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg wrote on Thursday that Trump's decision was bad for the environment, bad for the economy, and it puts our children's future at risk. For our part, we've committed that every new data center we build will be powered by 100% renewable energy, Zuckerberg wrote on his Facebook page. Stopping climate change is something we can only do as a global community, and we have to act together before it's too late. Google CEO Sundar Pichai tweeted on Thursday that he was disappointed with today's decision. Google will keep working hard for a cleaner, more prosperous future for all, Pichai tweeted. Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft, wrote a lengthy post on his LinkedIn page in which he called climate change an urgent issue that demands global action. We all live on a small planet and every nation needs to work with others to protect it, Smith wrote. We've been a steadfast supporter of the Paris Agreement, from encouraging nations to come to an agreement in 2015 to urging the U.S. to ratify the agreement in 2016. We are disappointed with today's decision by the White House to withdraw the United States from the landmark, globally supported Paris Agreement on climate change, Smith wrote. Our experience shows us that these investments and innovations are good for our planet, our company, our customers and the economy, he wrote. The Climate Accord, also known as the Paris Agreement, was designed to mitigate the growing threat of climate change, requiring all countries to keep temperature growth within 2 degrees Celsius, 3.6 Fahrenheit, above pre-industrial levels and strive for 1.5 C, 2.7 F, if possible. Nearly 200 nations have signed on to the deal, which went into effect this past November. With Trump's decision to pull the United States out, scientists are voicing their concerns on the potential consequences. 18 months ago, the world felt hope when the global community came together in Paris to forge a path forward to halt climate change, said Christian Semper, president and CEO of the Wildlife Conservation Society. Today, we take a step backward in disappointment. The science is clear that human-caused warming of the planet and other climate change impacts are harming people, livelihoods, and wildlife, and it will get worse unless something is done to curtail it. It is not just the climate scientists and conservationists who are raising this alarm. Business leaders, economists, and national security experts are urging global action to address climate change. According to the expert, the move is a missed opportunity for the U.S. and for the planet, arguing that it marks the country stepping down from its historic role as an innovator, convener, and global problem solver. During the announcement today, Trump claimed that the Paris Accord is very unfair at the highest level to the U.S., citing the continued ability for other major polluters, such as China, to increase their emissions in ways the U.S. cannot. But, as Trump pulls out, China said today that it will be sticking to the Paris Agreement. Under Paris deal, China committed to produce as much clean electricity by 2030 as the U.S. does from all sources today, Musk tweeted, after revealing his decision to step down from the Presidential Council. The U.S. president argued that the agreement is less about the climate and more about other countries gaining a financial advantage over the United States. Trump said he would also end the United States' participation in the United Nations Green Climate Fund. Over the last few months, scientists have increasingly spoken out against the possibility of withdrawing from the Paris Agreement. And, in a study conducted this past November following the election, researchers found that the majority of Americans support the country's participation in the deal, including Trump supporters. With today's announcement, experts warn the consequences of the decision will not come in isolation. We will all suffer the impacts and consequences of climate change, and some countries can already attest to this, said Virginia Tech senior research associate Carol Franco. The withdrawal of the U.S. in the long run could discourage other countries from fulfilling their pledges and commitments to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and consequently, also withdraw from the Paris Agreement. This ultimately sends us back to the course of business as usual, which will lead to temperature increases with unfortunate consequences. While Trump cited economic motivations, among other things, as reason to pull out of the Paris Agreement, experts warn the effects of climate change will soon take a much bigger toll on taxpayers' wallets. Rising global temperatures will cause more extreme weather events, a phenomenon already underway in some areas, and this will necessitate costly interventions, scientists argue. The Trump administration can change the rules and laws of the land, but it cannot change the laws of nature, said David M. Lodge, the director of the Atkinson Center for a Sustainable Future at Cornell University. While there can be reasonable debate about how, when, and where to reduce carbon pollution, policies that deny realities of chemistry, physics, and the environment, as such a decision would doom U.S. taxpayers to a future of more costly responses to rising sea levels, increased droughts and floods, and damaged infrastructure.